I'm Emily Mashak, and you're listening to Tuned In to NoCo, Town Square Media's show that lets you know what matters in NoCo. I'm talking today with Rachel Levitsky, the Director of Marketing and Communications at Future Legends Sports Complex in Windsor. So thank you so much for joining me today, Rachel.
Hi, Emily. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. Now, we're so excited to have a sports complex here coming to Windsor. What can listeners expect to see when it opens in 2022?
Absolutely. We're so excited to have a sports complex coming to Windsor, too. So what you can expect from Future Legends Complex is really a one-stop shop for all things sports related. I wouldn't take it as far as sports Disneyland, but some people have. So what we'll have on our complex is a multitude of sports-related fields. We'll have 10 baseball diamonds, and we'll also have included in those baseball diamonds a miracle field, which is for children and adults with special needs and special abilities. We're going to have 12 multi-purpose fields that you can play soccer, lacrosse, flag football, etc. on. We'll have a 4-acre bubble dome. That's the third largest bubble dome of its kind in the United States. It's going to be massive. And inside that, it's split into a turf side and a hard court side. It'll have 16 volleyball courts or 8 basketball courts on that hard court. And then we'll also have our big multi-purpose stadium, a jewel of our complex, and that's going to house 2 professional sports teams, the Northern Colorado Owls and Northern Colorado FC, which we just announced. The complex will also have retail and restaurants on site, hotels that flank the right field corner of the stadium. And then another really important piece of our complex is the dorms that we'll have on site. So we will be hosting tournaments for people across the nation, and they'll come and stay in these dorms that we have on complex, which will provide this experience of getting to know, like summer camp kind of experience for tournaments. And so we're really excited about those as well. But yeah, that's really what makes up the complex.
Wow. Well, after hearing all that, I think the Disneyland for sports might be a good explanation.
Maybe.
So I have to ask, this is all so cool. How did the idea for Future Legends come to be?
Sure. That's a great question. We have 2 co-founders, Ryan Spilborgs, who's a former Rocky, and Jeff Katofsky, who has been involved in professional sports for more than 3 decades. And both of them have had this dream for years. It's really amazing. They had this dream separately from each other, and then a few years ago came together and were introduced, and they built this dream for this mega complex in Windsor at the site that it's at now. And as soon as they met, they were finishing each other's sentences. It's just, they're a power duo for sure. So we owe the idea all to them, and we're so excited to bring it to Northern Colorado. There couldn't be a better place.
How did you make your way to Future Legends? What does it mean to you to be a part of the team?
Absolutely. I ended up at Future Legends after a few years with the Major League Baseball Alumni Association. And that's how I met Spilly. And he had always been talking about this dream complex that he was building. And so I've known about it for a few years now. And when the opportunity arose to hire a director of marketing and communications, I threw my hat in the ring. I think what it means to me is just, I know the potential of this experience for anyone who comes to visit us at Future Legends. And that's really what it's all about, is making the experience the best possible for anyone who comes to see us, whether you're coming from down the street and having a meal with your family and going to a professional game, or if you're traveling from across the country to come play in one of our tournaments. We want to make sure that whatever you experience on our complex makes you smile, makes you feel like your family, and that you can leave and say, I want to come back there. So I think that's what drew me to the facility, and I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I love that message. It's such a great, strong community support system. And you mentioned this earlier. You said that professional sports teams will be playing at Future Legends like NoCo FC. Can you tell me more about these teams? How is this going to work?
Absolutely. Yeah. So The Future Legends ownership group they also own these two professional teams, the Northern Colorado Owls and Northern Colorado FC, the latter of which we just announced this week. We're so excited to bring great, high-quality professional sports to the Northern Colorado area. That also enhances the experience I just talked about for our visitors. And something that I really wanted to talk about was making sure that we involve the community at every step of the way, building this fanatical supporter base group here in Northern Colorado, especially with Northern Colorado FC as it's an expansion team. We want to make sure that the Northern Colorado community knows that we are building a brand around Northern Colorado. So I'll just do a quick plug for NoCoFC.com. You can go there and sign up for the ability to, share your ideas with the club. So that's NoCo FC. The two teams will play in that multi-purpose professional stadium that I mentioned on our complex. And a little bit more about each of them. The Owls are in the MLB partner Pioneer League. So they play against teams from Utah, Idaho, Montana, and Colorado. And then NoCo FC is joining USL League One, and they'll play against teams across the country. So we're excited to bring supporter groups from across the country to our complex and showcase all that Northern Colorado has to offer.
That is awesome. I can't wait to see all of these professional teams. But what I really think is cool is that the complex will also be really important for the youth in the community, especially you mentioned that that section for people with special needs who will be able to participate as well. How will the complex really serve local young athletes, and how can they get involved with Future Legends?
Definitely. So Future Legends Complex is still going to be the home to Windsor Parks and Rec programming like it is right now. I think we have softball, baseball, soccer, and lacrosse being played at the existing Diamond Valley Sports Park fields, and that won't go away. We never wanted to take away that opportunity for the community to have a place to play. But additionally, we did want to provide additional opportunities for youth and adults that didn't have a place to play in Northern Colorado right now. Both that special abilities field that I talked about, our Miracle Field, but also maybe a little bit more off the beaten path sports that didn't have a place to play before. We're building a pickleball arena, and we'll have beach volleyball courts. Our multi-purpose fields can be used for anything: Quidditch, spikeball, futsal, like a wide range of activities that weren't being played in Northern Colorado before or didn't have a dedicated place to be played before. So we're really excited to bring that. And as far as how you can get involved, we want to make sure we're as integrated into the community as possible. So make sure that you visit our website, futurelegendscomplex.com, or follow our social media channels to make sure that we're providing you the opportunities you want. We want to hear from you, and if there's something we're missing, we want to have a conversation and make sure that we provide it.
I love that it really just caters to everyone from all walks of life, all kinds of sports, even Quidditch. I love that.
Absolutely.
And I guess we've really been touching on this the whole interview, but how do you see Future Legends really impacting the greater Windsor and Northern Colorado community in the future?
Right. I think that's a cornerstone of our business model, is making sure that we impact the Windsor and Northern Colorado community as a whole and provide them a place to call their own. But I think something that we haven't touched on yet is, aside from the sports programming, we've got a ton of community events and engagement plans. We have a director of events who will be planning major concerts, festivals, philanthropic events. We want it not to just be sports. We want to make sure that we give back to the entire community, and this is in Northern Colorado's backyard. We want you to feel like it's yours.
I can't wait to see it when it finally does open. I'm sure our listeners are also sitting on the edge of their seats, but until it opens, what can we expect for Future Legends? What's it going to look like until then? Where can we stay up to date with all the developments? What do we need to know?
Sure. Yeah, so in 2021, we do hope to have some local events on the complex and open the space up for the community. Obviously, there are those 3 existing baseball diamonds and 2 multi-purpose fields at the previous Diamond Valley Sports Complex. So Windsor Parks and Rec will be using those, of course, as well as potentially other fields that finish construction as we move through 2021. The best way to stay up to date is to follow Future Legends on social media. We're at Future Legends Complex on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and then at FL Complex on Twitter. We also have an e-newsletter that you can sign up for on our website, futurelegendscomplex.com. I think those are the best ways to stay involved and to make sure you're up to date about what is potentially happening in 2021 and beyond.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. Is there anything else that you would like listeners to know about Future Legends today?
I don't think there's anything specific. I just wanted to touch on the point that we want the community to know how excited we are to be here in Windsor, in Northern Colorado, and how much we value that Northern Colorado and Windsor community. We can't wait to provide you with those exciting experiences and a place that you can call your own here in Northern Colorado.
I know we are just as excited. So thank you so much, Rachel, for taking the time to talk to me today. I appreciate it. It was awesome to learn about it.
Thank you so much, Emily. I appreciate you taking the time as well.
Again, that was Rachel Levitsky, the Director of Marketing and Communications at Future Legends, the new sports complex coming to Windsor in 2022. You can learn more about Future Legends by visiting futurelegendscomplex.com.